Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Co-Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you is having a fantastic Monday, wherever we are around the world. And welcome back to yet another transfer news show for you guys this evening. Hopefully, all of you are well. Of course, look, we have had already the big news about Hugo Ekitike, of course, already confirmed. But of course, we have a bit more details in regarding his medical and a few other bits and bobs that we found out over the last 24 hours. Of course, we're not only going to discuss Hugo Ekitike, we are going to discuss again Luis Diaz, once again being rumored to a move for Bayern Munich. Talk about Rodrygo as well. Again, also it's kind of in the same type of story, isn't it, with Luis Diaz and Rodrygo at the minute. Of course, with Liverpool looking maybe likely at this point that we'll end up losing Luis Diaz this summer. Of course, Rodrygo's name is coming up more frequently, which we will discuss in due course. We'll discuss Mark Gahey as well, and I want to quick start the show talking about Federico Chiesa. No Chiesa on tour. We will talk about that in due course. But again, let me know how all of you are down in the comment section down below. If you are new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. And hopefully all of you are well. But big up QT as well, saying smash the likes and subs on the way in, guys. Well, yeah, if you could, very much appreciated as always as well. And big up Andre as well, saying hi. Hopefully you're doing great as well. But yeah, let's talk then about Federico Chiesa. Of course, not in the Liverpool team that's flown out to Hong Kong. Of course, the Reds are already out there. Again, they left last night and again got to Hong Kong perfectly fine. But Federico Chiesa isn't a part of the list that went. Of course, you guys can see from us on Twitter. Of course, went on. Of course, no Federico Chiesa on the Asia tour, and you guys can see the names right there. Of course, you've got Alisson, Gomez, Endo, Van Dijk, Kanate, Diaz, Szoboszlai, Nunes, Alexis McAllister, Mo Salah, Curtis Jones, Cody Gakpo, Elliot, Tsimikas, Robertson, Gravenberch, Ben Doak, Woodman, Mamadashvili, Milos Kerkez, Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Pesky, Riwan Guma, Muskier, Morton, Bradley, Stevenson, and Trey Nioni. They are the players that have gone out for the tour. But again, no Federico Chiesa. Again, the club have come out and said, or again, the reporters have come out from the club and said that it is a small injury that he did pick up against Stoke, which again, believe that if you want. Again, some people have suggested it's transfer related, which it could be. Let's be perfectly honest. It's not out of the question that Federico Chiesa has probably stayed at Liverpool to find himself a transfer. But the one thing I'd also say towards that is Jadon Danns was also part of the plans to go to Asia, go on the tour, but he has stayed back as well to continue his rehab at the moment. Of course, so he's only now just kind of come back, hasn't he, from obviously from that long injury that kept him out pretty much for the entirety of last season towards the back end. But look, I look at it and go, Federico Chiesa, in my honest opinion, I've said to you guys, I think he will end up staying at Liverpool. But, it's not a great sign, is it? The fact that he's not travelled at all with the squad for the Asia tour. And again, that's something that you look at it and go, it's a bit concerning. And of course, it is concerning the fact that Liverpool haven't really taken him. But again, it could just be precaution. But the suggestions are that he did pick up a slight knock against Stoke. But again, believe what you will at the moment, because in my honest opinion, I do think it's maybe he did pick up something, but of course I'm also leaning towards I think he is out the door really. But again, Liverpool have to be very careful with what's going to happen, because at the end of the day, Liverpool at the minute are a bit lacking in the forward areas. Yes, we're signing Hugo Ekitike. Yes, we've already got Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah. Of course, you've got Rio and Guma to come through as well. But, with Lucho looking likely to leave, Can Liverpool afford now really to let go of somebody like a Federico Chiesa? I'm not too sure. Really, in my honest opinion. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on Chiesa not going to the Asia tour as well. Very intrigued to know your guys' thoughts. But big up Ollie as well. Saying evening, Con. Hopefully you are doing well. Didn't continue have an injury before he left. Yeah, supposed back injury. But again, I don't know whether or not. Look, because I obviously I put that thing up about the club. Obviously, the club reporting that it was an injury, and that's why he hasn't gone. Whether or not it's a minor thing to try and keep him on the transfer market, really, because again, nobody's going to buy a Federico Chiesa that's not fit. Let's be perfectly honest. They won't do what Liverpool did 12 months ago, really, and buy him with no preseason, really. But big up QT thing. We get Isaac and Nunes ends up at Newcastle. Well, the rumors are at the minute, again, I haven't really got a thing up for it, but supposedly Juve are looking at Nunes, but there's rumors of a loan for next season, or this season coming up, and then an obligation to buy. And we know Liverpool don't do these types of things, because for example, look at Chelsea and Manchester United at the moment. Chelsea completely just got away with not signing Jadon Sancho and sending him back. Of course, they had an obligation to buy, ended up paying a £50 million, not 50 million, sorry, for £5 million compensation fee. And then, he's gone back to Manchester United. So again, Liverpool will definitely not be looking at that type of deal. It will be, look, you either buy him now or don't buy him at all. Yeah, and that's the simple way around it. To be fair, as simple as that. Don't pay the price. Liverpool will keep him. It's as simple as that, really. But Rio has took his place. Well, he looks sharp though, doesn't he? Watching the extended highlights of that Stoke game, I'm watching him play alongside, Florian Wirtz, obviously played alongside Darwin Núñez. Mo Salah, again, he looked comfortable, and that's a scary thing. He's only, 17? And only just turned 2017, just turned 17 as well. So Rio and Guma, yeah, definitely one for the future, for sure. Assuming they don't go out on loan, who do you think will get more minutes this season, Trey or Rio? Trey Nioni, I think, will get more minutes. I also say that, man, it does depend on what we do left wing, because, for example, if Luis Diaz does leave, look, I think both of them will get plenty of minutes this season for sure. Look, I think Arne Slot has full confidence in them too, specifically. Obviously, coming through the academy at the moment, they are really the two banging on the door for a first team start. But yeah, definitely, I think them two will get plenty of minutes. But I think both of them are 17 at the minute. So like, if Liverpool play their cards correctly, again, letting them have time to establish themselves and slowly get into the first team. Let's say in the next 5 years, they could be superstars in this Liverpool team. Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's exciting to think about, already on top, of course, of all the signings that we are making and the players coming through the academy as well. But Rio and Trey don't look out of place. No, they don't. And that's the thing. If Liverpool are going to send them out on loan, which I don't think we're going to, personally, but if we was, I think the Stoke game really put into, and again, I know it's pre-season and I know it's Stoke, but they didn't look out of place, did they, against them? And that, for me, that would be the type of move you'd make for them. I think Premier League's a bit too much at the moment, in terms of a full-time move. But I think high-end championship for both players, if you was going to do it, could be very, very good. But again, you have to be careful. For example, look at Fabio Carvalho, for example, who had a terrible loan spell at Leipzig. And again, I'm using that as a weird example. But again, that's a prime example of how a bad low move can have effect on someone's season, or Fabio Carvalho's aspect of things, career really. But Ollie says it makes so much sense to keep hold of Federico. Yeah, it does. I think that's the thing with Federico Chiesa is if you can get a fully fit and firing Chiesa, he offers you so much. He offers you cover on all parts, in terms of the front three. But I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? But I know a lot of people were divided yesterday when people were talking on social media about whether or not Liverpool are gonna, is this an actual injury, or is it, the fact that Liverpool are about to sell him? As far as I think all the journals are concerned, no one has mentioned him leaving apart from Fabrizio Romano. So yeah, at the minute we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, they be playing FA Cup and League Cup as well. Yeah, no, they will be 100%. Slot don't rate Federico, and he's gone. I don't know if he doesn't rate him. The problem is, right, number one, Mo Salah's in his position, so he's not going to play. Number two, other positions, again, does Federico Chiesa, and I'm going off this last season, does he get ahead of Jota? No. Does he get ahead of Nunes? At times, probably. Left wing doesn't get ahead of Lucho or Cody, so he is fifth, sixth choice forward at the club, and again, by you guys and your guys' reaction, again, even this season, Rio Nkuma's got above him. So by that, and I'm not disagreeing with you guys, the fact that Arne Slot doesn't particularly rate him, because again, that's some truth to it. But yeah, I think at the present moment in time, for me, it's just get him 100% fit and see what happens. So if a team comes in and pays what Liverpool paid for him, I think Liverpool would sell. And then, we'd end up looking for a replacement for Chiesa anyway. But moving away then from Federico Chiesa, let's talk then about Luis Diaz, because Fabrizio Romano, about 5 minutes ago before we went live, of course, talking on DAZN again, which of course I think he does a transfer show on DAZN every Monday now, isn't it, chat? Talking about Luis Diaz. Now, earlier on this morning, he did have to add this news, of course, that he does go on to say that Bayern, new proposal for Luis Diaz expected soon, as player opens door to the move. Decision up to Liverpool again, as they surely bring in a new winger if Lucho and Chiesa both leave. That would always, it's always the plan. Obviously, Malik Fofana, Bayern's plan B at the wing position, which, of course, for you guys as well, he supposedly, when we talk about Rodrygo later, Malik Fofana is supposedly Liverpool's plan B as well if we cannot get Rodrygo. That's the reported rumours at the moment going around. But I want to speak mainly on Luis Diaz, because what Fabrizio Romano has come out and said on DAZN, if I quickly find what he has said. Now, again, this is just purely done on Fabrizio Romano's opinion. He's come out and said that he thinks there's a 65% chance Luis Diaz will leave Liverpool and go to Bayern Munich. Of course, Diaz is pushing for the move. And of course, Bayern Munich are looking to bring in a new proposal for Liverpool. Again, Liverpool have already rejected 2 offers from Bayern Munich. And look, by the looks of things, Liverpool are trying to keep hold of him. If the price is met for what we want to keep, what we want for Luis Diaz, then again, it looks like we will end up selling Lucho as well. Now, in my honest opinion, and I put this out on Twitter earlier, does for example 70 million euros guarantee, and then the rest in add-ons, which you guessed Liverpool could get about 10 million in add-ons, so 80 million euros, sorry, would that be enough to get Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich? I think it would. Now, in pounds, that's around, what we're talking, 80 million euros. It's about, what, 69 million, is it? Hang on, let me double check. About 69.3 million pounds. Now, is that enough that Liverpool, would Liverpool accept that? when I look at it in the pounds version, I do think, again, 70 million or just below 70 million, I think Liverpool might go for it, even though they've said 100 million euros, which is like, what, 85 million pounds. I look at it and go, like, for me, I think Liverpool accept 70 million quid, because then they could go after a Rodrygo, or they could go after a Malik Fofana, depending on what they want to do. Again, Malik Fofana, if we're going to end up selling Federico Chiesa, is kind of a like-for-like replacement in someone who can play across the front three, and has done it for Lyon. But, of course, the superstar siding is Rodrygo. And, of course, on Luis Diaz, I think it is looking more likely that he will leave. But again, would 80 million euros be enough? 80 million euros be enough? Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. For me, I think it will be. I think Liverpool, to get 70 million quid for a 28-year-old Luis Diaz who's 2 years left in his contract, I think they bite their hand off for that. I'm not going to lie. Even though I love Lucho, I think Lucho offers so much. Again, if he could finish, he'd be a 200 million pound player. But again, it's that sense of Liverpool would look to cash in now and potentially get someone who can become a superstar. We know, for example, Hugo Ekitike is the example in terms of if the data team think it's the right guy, if the data team thinks this is the player we should go all in for. We've already known them this summer that Liverpool will do it, and Liverpool will go all in for him. And I think, like, if Rodrygo does become available, then I think Liverpool will go for him. I do. And I think, speaking on the Rodrygo stuff, because it is all linked together, and I will get into your guys' thoughts in a moment, but the whole situation is all linked together. If Luis Diaz leaves Liverpool, Liverpool will look to go and get Rodrygo. We know this for a fact. I think Ben Jacobs was just on Born and Red as well. Go and obviously check those guys out as well if you haven't already. But I think Ben Jacobs was on there saying that, look, Liverpool, if Liverpool sell Luis Diaz, then we will end up going and targeting Rodrygo. Yeah, as he said by her, there's a genuine appreciation for appreciation from Liverpool for Rodrygo. There's a lot of people getting carried away at the moment. The exact situation is a super agent has been mandated for Rodrygo's exit, and Rodrygo will decide nothing before he has spoken to Xavi Alonso. So again, it does rely on whether or not he will end up leaving Real Madrid. I think that is something Liverpool do have to be careful with, because look, we could let Luis Diaz go now, but we know in the past Liverpool don't let players leave unless we have a guaranteed replacement. Now look at this summer, for example, we've not kind of done that. We've bought the players in already. We've brought in Kirkes, Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekitike. We've brought these players in and we haven't sold anyone really yet. I know we've let go of Kelleher and Konza, but we've not let go of Darwin Núñez yet. We've not let go of Milos Kerkez, we're never let go of him. Costa Simicas, Andy Robertson. Again, we've not really made up our minds at the left back position at the present moment in time. Yes, they will happen throughout the summer, but at the moment, again, Liverpool need to sell a few players first. But again, if there's encouragement there that Liverpool can do a deal with Rodrygo, then I think Liverpool absolutely do it. I really do. I said it to you guys though. In my opinion, I've not watched a game of Rodrygo that I've gone, wow, really? I know obviously, Michael Edwards loves Rodrygo. Again, Liverpool almost signed him in 2017, 2018, when he was still in Brazil, I think for around 3 million euros at the time. And have kept, obviously an eye on his progression at Real Madrid. But look, in my honest opinion, I think Liverpool, if it makes sense, will go for him. Now, what is that price point looking at? I think you could be looking at something similar to how we're going to sell Luis Diaz. I think, 80 million euros? You're probably looking at something like that. I know Real Madrid have said 100 at the moment, but I think if Rodrygo makes it clear he's going to go and leave Real Madrid and he doesn't want to be playing on the bench, especially in a World Cup year as well. Again, if he's playing week in, week out at Liverpool, or again, interchanging with Cody Gakpo now and again, I think Liverpool, I think we'll do it, I do think we will. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. But Chiesa love is miles off as well, says Martin. Talia Obin lets you go as well. No exit rumors for Robbo or Costas. Not at the minute. I think there was a Leeds one, wasn't it, with Costas that went very quiet. But again, I would suspect things to be, again, shifted on very quickly, maybe once the players are fully back from Asia. So that's going to be 2 weeks, or at least a week anyway, before the players are back. But Martin says he's clearly talented, but he's lacking fitness. Who's this for? Rodrygo. Again, let me know. He was fit for a lot of last season and didn't even get picked in dead rubber games. Federico Chiesa, that's what we're on about. Again, Chiesa, it's a weird one, isn't it, at the moment, on what's going to happen there. I personally think Chiesa, I think we should keep him personally, but that's just me. Chiesa looks like a shell of a player. He clearly was, maybe, at this point. Indy Kelleher reported Diaz 65% chance he goes, 45% he stays. But I don't think that's an Indy exclusive. I'm not going to lie. Fabrizio Romano just said that about half an hour ago, Martin. But look, to be fair, Indy's been right about a few things this summer already. But Con, do you rate Rodrygo? Looking at the data, he looks decent. But when I've watched him, when I've watched Real Madrid play over the last 2-3 years, I've never watched a game where he's. When you watch players and you go, wow, like even if they don't score or assist, and you think like, oh wow, what a player. I've never watched a game where Rodrygo's done that for me. But again, if the club thinks he's the one, and again, a lot of people seem to think he is the one that should come in and replace Luis Diaz, then look, I'm all for it. 70 million Diaz leaves as well. I would agree with that 100%. He looks boss to me, as well as Ollie. Well, again, people will agree and disagree. Look, this is the thing. If the data people thinks he's right, then again, great. I'm all for it. So the same with Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike makes so much sense data-wise. Again, I've said it to you guys where I think I think Hugo Ekitike, I said to you guys, if we don't get Isak, then you 100% go after Ekitike. Because he is like for like, and he's only now he's 23. But he will be, I think, what Bobby was when, what season was that? 17-18? No, 16-17, sorry. Where Bobby's kind of playing in the 10, but then moved into the false 9. I think we're going to see that. I think with the link up between Ekitike, Vert, Salah, Gakpo, like it's going to be liquid football this summer for sure. But what else do we have? We can all agree we are fire this window. Yeah, like that's an understatement, to be fair. Ollie says you can't be a starter for 5 consecutive seasons at Real Madrid without being half decent. True, that is true. But then the one thing I would also say is Carlo Ancelotti bought James Rodriguez everywhere he went. But yeah, look, that's just my worst name. What else do we have? Go away, Luke. And Rick, bugger off. Like, Ricky fanboying over freaking Rodrygo. By the way, who didn't want Ekitike? I've said that. This man did not want Ekitike for weeks until he saw a compilation. Just saying. Connor said, wow about Darwin Núñez. I did say wow about Darwin Núñez. I wanted Darwin Núñez at Liverpool when watching him against Liverpool for Benfica. And how wrong we was about it. But look, again, I will also say a data team didn't want The team didn't want Darwin Núñez, which, to be fair, is correct. What else do we have? Yeah, when I watched Rodrygo, he never lit it up for me either. The thing is, his natural position is left wing. I think for Real Madrid, he's played there 20 something times in his whole Real Madrid career. But again, he's played in them types of games, in La Liga. Obviously in Champions League, it's either Mbappe, or now it's either Mbappe or obviously Vinny Jr. In the past. And again, on the left, supposedly Rodrygo is a lot better, but I think people were making compilations of a game that he played against Girona. I think it was 2 seasons ago. But yeah, again, from what I've seen, I'm not too sure. But Luke Núñez is con striker Ultimate Team. You wish. No, I've not played Ultimate Team since November time properly. Yeah, got very sick of the game. But I will be back in August. Absolutely. People have their own opinion. I don't think Rodrygo is good enough one bit, but yeah, that's mine as well. Are you wearing shorts? At the moment, yes, I am. What a stupid question. What's the meme that people play? What a dumb question. I'm gonna leave that there. Rodrygo won't happen, nor a chance. More Isak will sign as well. I'd say I'm the other way. I'm not. I just don't think Isak signs. Now I know Ben Jacobs mentioned it on Born and Red as well. No, I'm not giving you a 360 of my shorts. But at the moment, I would say that there's still a chance in some aspect that Liverpool sign Alexander Isak. There is. There always will be. If Isak's at Newcastle, something will be there for sure. But I kind of look at it and go, next summer, I think there is still more of a chance. This summer now, I think just no. I think he'll stay at Newcastle. Or if not, again, for some reason, Saudi Pro League has been talked about with Isak. But yeah, for me personally, I think Isak next summer makes a lot more sense as well, because price-wise, it'll be a bit lower. You're looking under 100 million for Isak. Again, depending on the season he does have, again, will vary the price. But I think the wording that Ben Jacobs used was, again, Liverpool will be there if it's now January or even next summer. And I agree with that 100%. Ollie says, trust Hughes and Edwards to make a dream team. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone here do fancy team? Yes, we will be doing it. I might even do it on stream with you guys. We do have a league. I will try. I haven't had time today that much, but I will try and look after my show, or after the show, sorry, about FPL, and we will get the league up. So make sure you are keeping tabs on the community tab on here, where of course it should be just under community, or on Twitter. Either one will post straight away. And again, tomorrow's stream, I will try and get it up for you guys as well. Or we might even do a fancy team stream. Would you guys be interested in that? Again, I'm not too sure. But yeah, you'll have to let me know. This Arteta guy as well. No, it's Luke. It's annoying Luke. that's the best way. Connie feeling we play Ekitike from the left, and Isak no. I get people, Daryl. I get people wanting that as well. I just don't. Like, by all accounts, Liverpool are playing Hugo Ekitike as the 9. Supposedly, again, from what Arne Slot's conversation has had with Ekitike, he will be Liverpool's number 9. But yeah, again, it will be interesting. Isak turns 26 in September as well. Yeah, so basically Liverpool could end up, next summer will end up buying pretty much someone who's going to turn 27, which kind of pulls it out of the model that Liverpool kind of do. But either way, 360 is crazy now. Yeah, it's mental. You wouldn't even see anyway because freaking my camera's up here. It's not down there. I'm not putting it down there either. Not to get banned. Post here, buddy, when you have it up as well. Yeah, no, we'll do a stream. We might even do a stream tomorrow. If there's no real news, we'll do a fancy football stream for you guys. But Rodrygo feels like Zubimendi. I don't really want to leave as well. Yeah, kind of. I think it's going to have to be like harsh words with Rodrygo and Xavi Alonso, really, where he's going to be like, yeah, am I going to be a part of the first team? And it also depends as well, I think, in terms of World Cup, because even though I think Rodrygo, even if he's on the bench for Real Madrid, I think he will end up starting for Brazil in the World Cup. But also as well, I think that if he's not playing week in, week out, Ancelotti may look at it and go, maybe he's not going to be a part of the team. Because I think, was it Endrick? Yeah, I think Endrick didn't get picked for the latest games because Ancelotti turned around and said he didn't play much for his club, who, by the way, got managed by Ancelotti. So, yeah, make that with what you will. But my honest opinion is I think if he's going to want to be starting for Real Madrid, for Brazil, he's going to need to be playing week in, week out. But all the reports at the minute is that Rodrygo to Liverpool could pick up paces as well. Again, even Luis Diaz as well also coming out and saying that Liverpool are keen on Rodrygo. It'll depend on outgoings, but there is an interest in him. Rodrygo's agent's been telling people, yes, Liverpool are keen, but there is no direct contact yet, so it's one to keep an eye on, but nothing more than that at this stage as well. So at the present moment in time, we'll have to wait and see either way. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on Rodrygo. But we will get on then. Talk about Mark Gahey for a quick second, because Matt Law has come out and said that Tottenham are potentially pushing interest in Mark Gahey. Now, again, we know for a fact that Tottenham have been interested in Mark Gahey for some time. We also know that Liverpool have also been interested in Mark Gahey. But again, we've not really realistically, we've never pushed on, have we? We've never pushed on with the interest of Mark Gahey, but it looks like Tottenham could potentially bid for him as well, which, look, in my honest opinion, I personally would like Mark Gahey at Liverpool. I think, again, when we talk about quality centre-halves in terms of the Premier League, Mark Gahey, I think, is up there. Probably England's best defender as well at the present moment in time. And look, for the price tag there, again, I think at the moment, Liverpool are looking to see what happens in terms of Crystal Palace's UEFA ban at the moment, not in terms of, again, complete ban, but whether or not they get back to the Europa League or Conference League. I think if they were to get back to Europa League, I think there'll be a bit more room in terms of negotiation with Palace in terms of the price to get it down. But I think if they are going to, stay in the Conference League, then I think they might push for that 50 million that was being rumoured a couple of weeks back. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on Mark Gahey, because I'd like him personally at Liverpool. But again, I think Liverpool, I don't think we'd be happy to let him obviously stay another year at Palace and then get him on a free transfer. I don't think we'd want to do that. But my honest opinion, I think Liverpool want to sign him. And maybe does this get pushed a bit further on the window, potentially? But it's quite clear that Liverpool want to sign a centre-half in this window. Also, again, if they don't get that much encouragement from Palace of any negotiations in terms of the price, then I do think we could end up seeing Liverpool look for that young Italian centre-half that was spoken about. But again, we'd have to wait and see. And no, Maguire's not the best English defender at the minute. What was it, 5 years ago? Possibly. But now, yeah, no chance at the present moment in time. But look, we'll have to wait and see for what does happen. But keep an eye on the Spurs' interest as well, because, again, we know now Mickey van der Ven's going to stay. We know as well that Christian Romero as well is also going to stay at Spurs. So it could be interesting where they do end up keeping, maybe rotating a lot more under Thomas Frank, or even playing a 3-back under Thomas Frank. I think that's also an interesting point where they could, use all 3 defenders. But again, it'll be very interesting to see what does happen with Mark Gahey for sure. Anyway, but again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. But any updates on who? CJ, what are you on about? Just go full in for Bastoni. Again, would love Bastoni, but yeah, no way you're getting him out of AC Milan. Inter Milan, sorry. There's no chance. Big up Ian as well, saying who is the European market are going to pay what Liverpool want for Núñez? Again, we mentioned earlier, Juve possibly looking at it. United, Arsenal, Leverkusen won't. Neither will Newcastle. Newcastle won't pay that for Núñez. Realistically, it is a rare market for Núñez at the minute because, quite simply, he is kind of outpriced. Again, 50 million. I look at it and go Saudi, my honest opinion. But look, if Liverpool moved in their valuation, I think Napoli could still come back in for him because he was Conte's #1 target. But still, Atletico Madrid as well, if they was to lose someone. Again, 40 million. Again, that's another option. But yeah, I'm not too sure myself. I'm not even going to lie about that. Ulradica's around forwards, but we desperately need to address our defensive shortfalls because it is serious. We rely on Joe Gomez to give us a render. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. This is why I think Liverpool, if we don't get Gahey, I think we will end up just signing a centre half in terms of just not so much just getting a player, but getting somebody who's young as well that can develop over time. I think Liverpool have someone in mind, but again, whether or not we do actually do that is another question in itself. Anyway, but we will get on to Ekitike in a moment. I want to talk quickly about him, of course, and the medical. But any updates on any players? What do you mean? If 15 million for Bastoni, no chance. You're talking 80-90 million for Bastoni. I say more updates tomorrow, if anything, since Liverpool not long in Japan. They're in Hong Kong right now. Of course, it's where they landed anyway. But yeah, at the present moment in time, I think we won't, because there might be an open training session on LFC TV maybe tomorrow. That they might do similar to what they did a couple of years ago. But yeah, I'd be surprised if we hear any news coming at the club. I think he will ball at next club. He's just not for us. Who says Núñez? I think in another league, I think Italian league, I think he'll do really well in. I just do. There's just a weird feeling around Núñez and the Italian league, which I think he'll do amazing at. But yeah, the Premier League certainly, again, just doesn't really hit the mark, does he? In terms of the Premier League and Liverpool, for example. But look, either way, we'll have to see what happens with him, of course. But we will move on then and talk about Hugo Ekitike. Of course, deal agreed. We already know this. Now, David Ornstein has come out today saying in terms of the total agreement for Hugo Ekitike, he does go on to say Liverpool reach agreement with Eintracht Frankfurt to sign Hugo Ekitike, £79 million, 69 million fixed fee, and then 10 million in bonuses based on success for Liverpool, obviously well below the 95 million euros, which is around 82 million pounds, medical, and then we'll join with the Asia tour as well. Now, we know for a fact that the Asia tour, obviously we already know the lads have already flown out, but we know also for a fact that he was supposed to fly out tonight. That was reported earlier on by Fabrizio Romano himself, saying that, again, that Hugo Ekitike was due to land in Merseyside today, and then going to have his medical tomorrow. But then he did come out about two hours ago saying this, as you guys can see on the screen right now. As he does say that Liverpool and Hugo Ekitike's camp have rescheduled the flight for the striker on Tuesday morning, as documents are still being signed. No issues, as Hugo will land tomorrow and undergo a medical immediately, then sign a 6-year contract as well. So by the looks of things, probably will be officially announced on Wednesday, Thursday time. I'm guessing it'll probably be Thursday. The Liverpool do officially announce him anyway. But again, he will automatically fly out to the Asia tour, and obviously meet up with Arne Slot and the rest of the boys as well. But I think the price tag, which again, a lot of Newcastle fans and a lot of City fans have been fuming about Liverpool, and the whole changing of like the words in terms of euros and pounds. And of course, it's 69 million pounds. Obviously, the add-ons take it up to 79. But look, at the end of the day, at the moment, I think that's a really, really good signing, especially in a market where, let's be honest, it's the normal rate, I think, for a striker in this current market. Again, Hugo Ekitike going for let's say 69 million pounds as of right now. Of course, eventually will be 79 million because we all think Liverpool are going to win everything. And look, for me right now, Liverpool will, I think with Ekitike, will win everything. But I also look at it and go, that's just the price of a striker now. And like, once again, Frankfurt have done very well to get that out of Liverpool as well. Because again, Frankfurt and selling strikers, again, they sell tons of strikers for top dollar. But again, I just think it's a normal rate for a striker. I really do. And look, I think Ekitike will be amazing for Liverpool. Like I said, we do have a video coming out. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. I keep pushing it back, but yeah, hopefully it will be tomorrow. Talking about how good he can become in a Liverpool shirt. Because I think truly with him, Wirtz, Salah, and Gakpo, Rodrygo, whoever's on the left-hand side, I think it will be absolutely filth for Liverpool next season. Just when we talk about slot ball and we talk about how good Liverpool have been last season, I think with him, his ability on the ball, his capability of again driving forward, again, and his finishing inside the box is actually quite decent as well. I think, look, he's going to be special for Liverpool. I really, really do believe that as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on the price tag as well, because I think 69 million, take 79 with 10 million add-ons is pretty decent price tag, in my honest opinion. Why are you lot going on about Nunes and United for? Hugo Boss, Lara as well, absolutely. Newcastle should sign, Jesus Christ, Soloff. That's one for a FIFA team, that is. Hugo and Frimpong need to sort them haircuts out before playing. No, let them keep them. Lol says QT. United signed Maguire for 900 million. What? What the hell? We got Mazzy as well saying Liverpool have signed Hugo Ekitike with knowledge he could become a superstar to signing potential, as I think we still need certified forward playing to get us the goals as well. True-ish, but I think Liverpool will be completely fine. I'm not going to lie. But XE around his Nunes. Nunes is even balling out. At the minute, he is. Oh, right, against Stoke and Preston. Well, to be fair, Andre Varnen did for many years in pre-season anyway. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts on everything we do mention anyway. But look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your nights anyway. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll bring out that Hugo Ekitike video for you guys. But yeah, any other bits and pieces will be live for it anyway. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on everything we have mentioned in tonight's episode. If you are new around here, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ra.